Good evening, folks. Dr. Freedom here with you, and it's time for some Doctor Who news. And like I said, first off the bat, like I said, even though I was going off data that was provided to us by somebody who worked, or does work on the show, it was still my call to announce it. Therefore, I got to take the brunt of it. And like I said, all I can do is apologize to you. We do the best we can with what we have. But it's become apparent that this person was either misinformed or they openly lied to us. Now, that falls also into the category of when we had some people who went to Gallifrey 1 who informed folks we know that, by the way, the sonic screwdriver was not complete yet. Yet then we find out later it was already on the set down in South Africa. Now, I can understand these folks are just doing their job and all that, but still. It's better just to not answer than to just openly lie to people. But like I said, I'm the one who wound up with egg on his face. And like I said in the post earlier, sometimes you got to roll the dice and, it doesn't come up in your favor. All you can do is pick up the dice and roll again. So today was a good day because, we had a lot of great things happen, but it was also the last 24 hours have been kind of disheartening. And it's not anything to do with the show, but let me explain what happened. All right, I'll just make it part of the news because it'll make it a little bit easier because I have the articles already lined up. So you'll see what I'm talking about here in a minute. Okay, moving on. Let's get into it. Let's get on to it. Let's hop on the freedom train. Ha, hee, hee, ha, hee, ha, ha, and don't take me to the... Oh, well. Okay, first off, this was the end of the BBC America clock. A whopping 10-second announcement, and I won't... I'm Jodie Whittaker, the 13th Doctor. And I'm going to stop it there before I get hit by the copyright police. But basically right here, it's just a short little 10-second announcement. And, this just happened to fall in. We found out about October 7th being the current air date, which is great because people have been clamoring for weeks on when's this thing going to air. It's funny, there's only one person I know of who suggested October 7th. Okay, so that was the end of the clock. Their little clock countdown was this. Okay, so it's now official. Jodie Whittaker's Doctor to be broadcast on Sundays. That means the last show will be airing on Sunday the 9th. Forgive me, I'm not looking at a calendar. So whatever the week before the weekend of the 15th is. So that's still pretty close to Christmas, which is cool. That way we ain't going to wait all that long for anything that's coming out on Christmas. Also, keep in mind, we now know there's a Children in Need special that's been filmed for Doctor Who, so don't forget about that. But like I said, the disheartening thing about all this is the fact that they've basically pissed away the international audience in favor of trying to make things quote-unquote new and refreshing. But the problem is, if it airs any time in the evening here on BBC America, it's going to be killed by Sunday Night Football. I'm not kidding. It's going to be murdered by Sunday Night Football. Yeah, you're going to get it back on the Live Plus 7s, but still, you've sacrificed the number one highest rated drama on Saturday nights on BBC America for a quote-unquote new beginning at home. Now, a lot of British citizens, you're going, it's our show and all that, but I'm sorry, it was the international ratings that was helping keep this show alive. Also, that means whatever time it airs in the UK, add about 9 hours to that, and that's when it airs where my friend is living in Australia. That means they're not going to get it till Monday morning. It won't be available on their players until after it airs on BBC One. So, congratulations. You just pissed away the ratings in the 5 cities in Australia. You might get them back on the iView or the ABC iView, but who knows? So, basically, you just flush them down the toilet. So, while I'm glad the show's coming back, don't worry, don't get me wrong. We're going to support it. We're going to watch it. I just don't approve of this time slot. It also indicates to me a sign of weakness. If you have so much faith in your new product and your new doctor, why are you running away to Sunday night where there's no competition? Except for the other countries where it's going to get demolished. Whenever Doctor Who's been moved around on television before, it has always ended in disaster. And that's why I'm looking on this, even though I'm optimistic now that we know I have an air date, I'm looking on this with a sense of foreboding because when a show starts getting moved around, That's a sign of weakness and that there's blood in the water and the sharks are beginning to circle. The most watched program of 2017 was BBC One's Blue Planet 2, which was broadcast on a Sunday night. Yeah, that's Blue Planet 2. And in recent weeks, Bodyguard has achieved the highest launch ratings for any new drama since 2006. With Charlotte Moore, director of BBC Content, said, quote, with Chris Chibnall at the helm and Jodie Whittaker's arrival as a new doctor, we are heralding a brand new era for the show, so it feels only right to give it a new home on Sunday nights where it will die. I mean, at the heart of the BBC One's autumn schedule. Meanwhile, BBC Studios, which makes the time travel drama, has been criticized by many fans after the entertainment website Cultbox was threatened with legal action for reporting the launch date a day before the BBC's announcement. It was not Cultbox's fault that your German iPlayer page put up the damn information on a public page in public media, and now you turn around and threaten them with legal action for reporting on an event. Yet Daily Star, yet frickin' what you call it, is still up. Yet Starburst didn't get that cease and desist notice, did they? You see, any other website that has any clout that would have hopped onto this particular announcement would have been allowed to report it unmolested. But no, you took a mom and pop webpage and you threatened them with legal action. What a class act. And they're trying to make an example of anyone who tries to get any type of news ahead of anybody else. And it makes me sick. Because as I said, Starburst's article is still here. And this was put up that day. Yet Cultbox has to issue a note about the story we've had to withdraw. Quote, yesterday, iTunes across Europe revealed the launch date of Doctor Who Series 11, a series that we're hugely looking forward to. We reported this date, which turned out to have been released prematurely by Apple. Nonetheless, in good faith, we reported a date that was in the public domain. Unfortunately, yesterday afternoon, we received a cease and desist order for doing so. How far is it going to go? How far are you going to drag yourselves into the frickin' mud? I can't wait, because sooner or later you're going to pick on one of these organizations. They're going to turn around, get smart, hire some lawyers, and screw you in the butt so hard you're going to think you were anally raped by a redwood tree. And guess what? I can't wait till you try to tell the judge, well, Judge, he tried to report our stuff. Yeah, name where the financial damage was. You see, because that's the whole point of a lawsuit, let alone a cease and desist notice. How did it damage your profitability of your air date getting revealed 24 hours at a time? This isn't a clip. This isn't a picture. This is an air date. But you see, that's why I'm in a melancholy type of mood. Yeah, sure, it was a downer. We got the October 13th wrong. We were told this by a trusted source. But I can get over that. This is outright bullshit. I like that they picked on the mom and pop site, but Starburst still has their article up. And like I said, it's not the show. It has nothing to do with Jodie Whittaker, Bradley Walsh, or any of them. But when your company starts acting like Paramount did back in the 90s, you've got problems. If you are so threatened by a mom and pop site that you've got to send out cease and desist letters, that worries me. All right, here's why new Doctor Who star Bradley Walsh nearly turned down the show. Bradley Walsh has revealed that he almost turned down the role. He said he initially said no when he was asked to take the part of the companion Graham O'Brien, because showrunner Chris Chibnall wouldn't tell him, wouldn't tell him, who the 13th Doctor would be. Explaining how he's offered the character, he said, quote, I was with Chris having lunch last year, and he said, Brad, I want you to do a job. I said, sure, what? I can't tell. It's very, very secret, but you are the man for the job. It's in Cardiff, and it'll be a 9-month shoot. No. When he met with Chris Chibnall again, he was told a little more information about the project, but not enough. He goes, quote, I had another meeting, and he said, it's Doctor Who, but not for the Doctor, though. We're going to change it around. He goes, who's going to be the Doctor? And he goes, we can't tell. And he said, I can't accept it. He goes, but we want you. It'll be an unbelievable journey. It'll be groundbreaking. We're going to go for it. The BBC have trusted us, so I'm in a leap of faith. So he almost turned it down, but luckily he didn't. Now, Matt Lucas, by the way, you remember this guy, is currently developing a new TV show with Steven Moffat. The pair previously worked together on Doctor Who. He's now revealed that he's working with Moffat again on Twitter during a tweet about the play he used to be in. He said, quote, congratulating the cast of Me and My Girl, play for securing a West End transfer. Lucas revealed he's too busy with a Moffat-based project to join the West End cast. Quote, I'm busy developing a new TV show with the great Steven Moffat, but I wish the West End cast every success. Now, we know Moffat's currently working on an adaptation of The Time Traveler's Wife for HBO, as well as penning a Dracula show for the BBC, and it's unclear at this time which one that it is that Lucas is on about. So, kind of interesting there that him and Narda are going to be pairing back up. All right. Okay, this was interesting. This was put up on Reddit. Apparently, this was one of the concept designs for the new Silurians, had they gone with this back in Series 5, Hungry Earth, Cold Blood. But instead, they decided to go with the more human face approach because, in a way, I can understand why they did that because it's hard as hell to emote and shit when your face is buried behind latex. But at the same time, this is more classic Silurian. Or as somebody named David would say, that nostalgic bullshit we don't need. Well, and now I threw this in for shits and giggles. Will there be a second series of Keeping Faith? And by the way, yes, there will be. Eve Miles is also signed on to a series, I believe, called Cold Feet. So this was incredibly well received. If you've not watched Keeping Faith, I can't recommend it enough. Look, I'm sorry I got a bit shouty, but as I said in earlier videos, the BBC, for some reason this year, feel they have carte blanche authority to just go out and censor any damn thing they want. They're striking anything like a mad cobra on meth. And the thing is, somebody sooner or later is going to stand up to them and kick them right in the gonads. And I'm really hoping that they do someday because they had every right on Cult Box to report that story, just as I had every right to talk about those pictures that wound up on freaking Twitter. So I know exactly how these people feel because that was the first time in my 7 years of doing this. I had a video taken down by the BBC, by the way, the anti-piracy division. And I'm like, I didn't steal the photos, Dickless. I got them off Twitter. Sorry, too bad. Nope, not anymore. We don't care if it's in public domain or not. The international laws no longer apply to us. Screw you. It's basically what they're saying to y'all. And it won't be too long before they cut down all these sites. The only thing you'll have left is some like teens staring at the camera or yammering away in their shorts while doing whatever. And, well, like I said, just disheartens the crap out of me. So sorry if I got a bit shouty, but that's the way it is. Once again, like I said, I apologize for the 13th data. It was given to us by a very reliable source, or what we assumed to be. And it turned out they were either misinformed or they were lying to us. And like I said, I should have known better because we had a group of people who told somebody, a friend of mine at Gallifrey 1, that, some stuff, and turned out it was total bullshit. So I should have known. It's my own fault. But as I said before, sometimes you got to roll the dice, and sometimes you don't make it. You got to pick them up and roll again. You just can't give up. Unless you're in Vegas, don't bother. The house always wins. Night, folks. See you later. I hope you have a great night.